All right, so welcome to another edition of Danger and Gravy's Midnight Recruiting. Hopefully, this one is a little more stable, a little less rambly, and we get through it a lot better. So, like you could probably guess, I'm Danger and Gravy,
Gravy. Hi, how goes it?
and we're going to talk some recruiting. So, what's the first topic on there?
Our first topic on the list, we got a list this time, so it's better. Our first topic is weird pipeline choices. So there are a
Hmm.
couple of schools with some weird pipeline choices that we just want to highlight, maybe talk about a little bit, maybe question the
Yeah,
decision
there
making.
are some strange choices. The first one I noticed, we were discussing this earlier today, was Iowa State. They're trying to go into Kansas, and Iowa does border Kansas, but that's a hard one to go into.
Yeah, Storm likes to build a wall,
Yeah,
and
he
he wants
does.
to make Iowa pay for it.
Yeah, well, Iowa State.
But
Yeah,
whoever wants to
let's
pay
make
for it.
Missouri pay for it.
Yeah, no, Storm makes Missouri pay for it.
And
Double.
it's a it's a wall between Iowa and Kansas, and Missouri still has to pay for it.
Pretty
Oh,
much.
but no, Storm does a good job, but I also think that Kansas State's going to stay in state. I think they might be pipelining out, but they're going to try and get as much. And there isn't a ton in Kansas either. So whatever there is, I think those two schools are going to split it.
Yeah, I mean, if I was, yeah, I mean, Iowa State's in a tough spot. I think there are better states they could pipeline into.
Hmm.
I also think,
That's another thing. Iowa State, they need to be either trying to lock down Iowa because, or Iowa University is reaching out right now. They're going to or South Dakota, and State has an opportunity to kind of lock down the state a little bit, or they could reach into South Dakota too, because only Iowa State, and Minnesota border South Dakota, and there are three 5.0 players in there, including a 1 of 5 running back.
I was going to
So
say,
yeah, there's a lot there.
Iowa's got a big hole to fill with Pacheco leaving. I think that's
Pacheco, yeah,
Pacheco.
Arturo Pacheco, yeah.
With him leaving, that could be,
That's a hole to fill. I don't know if a 1 of 5 is the right person to fill it, but the thing is, you know what?
you go,
You know who's in Kansas? Uh,
who's in Kansas?
Hakeem Nixon. He's like a 2 of 4.5 or 2.5 of 4.5 running back, and that might be what Iowa State's looking for there.
Uh,
If they're just going to pipeline for a specific recruit.
yeah, it's a 2.4, 2 of 4.5 speed running back.
With a great name.
5'8", 204. Great name. And yeah, from Frankfort, Kansas.
Yeah, and Kansas needs a running back too, but because Storm is less than happy with Jalen Clayton's performances, and he might try and take Hakeem. But this can be interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
they could be jumping in for that. I mean, we'll have to have Minnow/Taffy tap in for that one and
yeah,
give some answer.
yeah, but there's a lot they could be doing though because they can't really go for North Dakota, but South Dakota and Minnesota and Iowa are really places they should be looking, not necessarily to Kansas.
Yeah, so our next topic is position analysis. We're going to look at our both Danger and I's favorite
There were a
position
couple.
in
Oh,
this class. So, Danger, you can go first.
the favorite position, definitely gonna go with defensive tackle. Um, defensive tackle stacked. There's 5.0 DTs just in Texas. Um, there's 12 in the country, including Jason Siegel.
Yeah, I did notice that when I was doing a little scouting. Defensive tackle has just an absurd number of 5.0s overall. I had his 12.
And
That's
then they have a bunch of fucking 4.5s.
Yeah, I had as a count of 38 total defensive tackles above 4.0.
It's frustrating. I spent so much on defensive line, and then have a year like this, and like I don't need a defensive tackle anymore.
I do know Texas is stacked with defensive tackles. That's how
Texas has
couple are Texas players.
the three best defensive tackles in the country are from Texas, and Oklahoma.
That's someone's licking their chops right now.
Yeah, someone is, and that's another weird pipeline choice. A couple of people are reaching into Texas, but
Oh yeah, I forgot. I never really mentioned mine, but
yeah,
I was
yeah,
just
sure.
going to talk about the two New York schools jumping into Florida. It's Buffalo and Army, which is a really intriguing choice because they don't get the border state bonus, and pipelining bonus isn't that great to overcome a 25-point in-state bonus
Yeah, and
in
they're
the
probably
Florida schools.
and there's probably a lot of competition for those recruits. It's hard.
Yeah,
Florida's not a bad state to try and raid, but they have a lot of borders, and I think a lot of people went in there. I'll
yeah.
actually mention that later, but I
But
think
anyway,
looking around them.
there's definitely better schools or states they could jump into. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. My favorite position group this class is wide receiver. There's just an absurd number of wide receivers. I think there's 55 4.0 plus wide receivers in this class.
Damn.
There's 11 wide receivers that are 5.0 plus, with 4 of them coming from the South, 1 coming from the East. We got 3 coming from the Southwest, or 2 coming from the Southwest, and 1 coming from the Central, and then 2 West. So
Damn.
it's a really, really deep class. If you guys need wide receivers, it's definitely the place to look.
I got mine last year too,
And
but that's a lot.
it's spread out everywhere. It's by far the most. I mean, the top position with 4.0 plus is wide receivers, and the second next position, wide receivers, is 55. The second next position is offensive guards, which is 39. So I mean, there's a 16 player increase. So wide receivers definitely going to be an interesting position to recruit.
I think everyone's going to try and grab theirs because there have been years where wide receivers are hard to come by.
Yeah, I mean, with
Yeah.
11 5.0 guys and a handful. I mean, hold on. We got
I like Dykes out of this class.
18 4.5 recruits for wide receiver. But yeah, Dykes is going to be good. Dykes might come up later in conversation, actually, with one of the topics we have going on later.
Yeah. Oh, that is true. Yeah, but I think wide receiver's crazy deep, and I think defensive tackle is just absurd. So there's a lot of good recruits out there. There's more than there was last year. There's definitely been more recruits this year, which is something that's nice to see.
Yeah, no, we had a the list was a little bit bigger this year. I think it was 200 recruits bigger, which I greatly appreciate. I think the class size should be a little bit bigger. I think we should aim more like real life. But
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I like the way we're moving. I think this recruiting system, albeit has some of its flaws, I think it's definitely the right answer moving forward. So
Hmm.
I'm not sure if anybody's actually listening, but
Yeah.
we're going to have some crystal ball picks. So if you guys want to throw in some players that you think we should crystal ball or some shout box topics we should talk about, like if you guys want to mention anything, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll wait through.
Right.
We're going to walk through some crystal balls until you guys have topics.
Yeah. Let's talk about the players likely to leave state.
Okay, we can do that. We can do players most likely to leave state. Who do you think's going to be most likely to leave state?
I'm actually saying one of the top recruits in the country, Josh Pennington.
That's an interesting pick.
You know, I think he's going Georgia.
Ooh, Laser Cat's new coach there too.
Well, I think she's going to want some offensive line, but the Bulldogs are reaching into Florida. They're pipelining him right now, and I think that might be for Pennington because I don't know if anyone's really going to want to compete that much for him because of how much it's going to cost. And I think if Georgia can get on him quick before other people can get in the conversation, they'll be able to snag him. And I think he's the best recruit in the country.
That's a bold statement. Best recruit in the country.
All right. Non-Soldier Brooks, best recruit in the country.
There you go. I mean, they are going to have a tough. That's a 13-point increase they're going to have to overcome. And if anybody in Florida decides the pipeline, or not decides the pipeline, but decides to put points on them, that's even fewer points they get per week. I think they can overcome it, but it's going to cost a lot.
It's going to cost a lot, but any of those guys, getting guys out of state's going to cost a lot no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, she also could swindle her way into stealing him out of state. Just convince nobody else to bid on him.
Yeah, not even nobody bid on him, just no one catch up with her. Like,
Yeah,
thing is, if you get out to such a lead on a recruit that no one's going to compete with you, this actually might be a pretty untold part of this recruiting, but the way I see it, if you get out far enough ahead that nobody's going to compete with you, you can get the commitment, which is better than a battle. But it's better for both teams in a battle. So a lot of teams will start dropping off when they see they're not going to get the guy, and then both teams will benefit from that.
yeah. I mean, it'll definitely be interesting to see how this dynamic works, because Lasercats could throw all of her points onto. I'm not sure how many points she has. She
Probably
could
like
throw,
16, 17.
she could throw all of her points onto. She has 18. She can throw 18 onto him, and then she's got a 5-point lead over any Florida guy.
Yeah, and even with their 25 points, it'll be tough to come by. But I think we'll be surprised at this. A lot of recruits will start committing pretty early. I think week 5 we'll see like 8 or 9, maybe not that many, like 6 or 7 top recruits commit by week 5.
That's a bold statement too.
I think the competition is going to be decided real quick. People are going to butt heads, but neither side wants it to drag on. So either you drop out, cut your losses, and go for someone else. And if you have the advantage, you just stick with it and you get your guy, and then he commits quickly.
Basically,
And you're going to want to find out early if you're going to get this guy. So people will be talking week 2 and 3, and because if you don't, it'll just go on for longer and longer, and you'll get more and more screwed over when you eventually do. So you'll want to find out quickly with who you're competing with for these top guys and figure out quickly, which is why in the next couple of weeks I'll just commit.
that's true. I think that's definitely possible, because I think a lot of schools are just going to throw stupid points onto some
Yeah,
players.
well, I'm doing that.
Well, obviously. So my pick for player most likely to leave state, I'm gonna go Trevor McKinney, man corner out of Virginia. Virginia's got a decent amount of recruits this year. Soldier Brooks being the top one,
Oh, I see what you're getting at here.
and
I see what you're getting at.
I think Virginia Tech and Virginia could go wall to wall for Brooks, leaving a lot of other
Yeah,
top
I see what
recruits
you're getting.
in Virginia.
Ooh, I think some people might want to look into Virginia.
Especially with, I mean, you have your metric on states, but especially with the possibility of North Carolina, which has, the Tobacco Road plus.
North Carolina is bad. North Carolina is bad this year. All right, Virginia isn't that great. They have Brooks and McKinney, and then like a 4.5. So if you'd really only go in there for McKinney or the defensive end.
Yeah, but I'm
You're not
thinking
getting Brooks.
I'm thinking school, amount of school wise, it'd be feasible for North Carolina to jump in, because there's 7 schools
Yeah.
in North Carolina.
North Carolina is, let's see, where they rank on the shitty states to be in. All right. North Carolina's probably going to be pretty good here.
North Carolina's stacked this year. They have multiple 5.0s that I'm not even considering because of how many schools are in that state. I think if one of those schools could work out some kind of swindle those schools in North Carolina, that some school could make out like a bandit. Looking at like Duke or maybe North Carolina State, I think they could make out real well in North Carolina.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to look something up to find out how good these are. No, but there are some solid guys in there. Because North Carolina has some room, but it's going to be hard to reach out of. Because there's not a ton in the States, really.
Yeah.
There's 5.0s, but they're not deep.
That brings me to my other state or prospect that might go out of state. I think Billings has his mind set on
Oh,
for North Carolina State already.
well, I think Imposter has mindset on him.
I don't know. Billings. I've heard from some from
Some
analysts that Billings might be already decided on North Carolina State.
Yeah, we'll see. But thing is who you're looking at in North Carolina. ECU, I'm not sure what to expect out of them. North Carolina, I think they still have Laws. I'm not sure who's behind him. Um, and the guys in South Carolina, Clemson still has a young Jamel Armstrong. I don't know who the hell is in South Carolina.
It's
Joe
good.
is Joe Sheik, but I don't know what South Carolina has. Is what I'm saying.
They have a sophomore 3 or 4 quarterback or freshman 3 or 4
They
quarterback.
might go for Billings, but I think it'll be easier for North Carolina State to reach in.
Yeah,
But obviously, Duke doesn't need a quarterback. ECU, North Carolina. There's 6 teams in North Carolina. I think Wake, everything, but I don't know. There's a lot of competition for a guy like that.
I do think South Carolina will give him a fight, but I think he might end up going into North Carolina State. So Yellow Evan has a Shopbox question for us.
Yeah, so does Rome. In general, will Texas teams or Southeastern teams bid on Louisiana player more? I'm gonna say Southeastern teams because Texas is still gonna be wary to leave the state because at least now there's so much in Texas that they can go after and kind of lock it down that by leaving the state they put themselves in a disadvantage. So they need to keep all the competition. So they're not going to go as much on Louisiana. I think you'll see Texas teams reach more into Oklahoma because that's also kind of habit from being in the same sub-region as them or in the same region. So I think you'll see a lot of Texas teams kind of reaching into Homa, especially maybe for Dykes. But I think the Southeastern teams are just kind of a cluster right now, and they're going to bid on or go in east and out. So I could see any of them going into Louisiana if they found someone they wanted.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there. I mean, the only school out of, well, there's 2 schools out of state that are pipelining Louisiana. It's Rice, which Bravada might have an interesting strategy there.
Yeah, I'm not sure there.
Bama is also pipelining Louisiana, and they have 22 points, which is more than LSU with 17. So that might be an interesting pipeline for them. But in general, I agree with you. I think southeastern states are more likely to align with Louisiana compared to Texas.
Texas isn't going to look much into Louisiana.
Texas is absurdly deep this year.
Texas is good. Texas has like 3 elite defensive tackles. Not as great as quarterback. They were loaded at quarterback last year. I took a couple, but I have my feeling. But they're not as good this year. Running back, we have McLaughlin, and you can also have that 1 of 5 if someone else wants him. But Texas is deep, and they'd be dumb not to stay here. Next question.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rome's got a good question. Who's your number 1 pick in this recruiting class? I have an idea, but what do you think?
Solomon McLaughlin. All right, no.
Nah, there's no way someone takes a running back at number 1. If they do, I will eat a hat. And if any of you quote me on this, I'm not actually eating a hat, but
hey, the next LT, baby. No, but best one. Well, people do overdraft corners, but it's not going to be Jameer Lacey.
Zone corner. I don't think.
Do you want me to go with the obvious one?
I mean, I know the obvious one, but you can take it. I'll take the not obvious one.
I don't know if we have the same obvious one. Jake Davis.
That's who my obvious one was.
Yeah, it's Jake Davis or Soldier Brooks, but I don't think inside linebacker is important enough to take number 1 overall. So yeah, Jake Davis. Maybe an offensive guard if they really needed that in Pennington, but yeah, it's usually the quarterback.
You know who I'm gonna go? I don't think you can guess who I'm gonna go.
Is it not Devin McGinnis?
It's not Devin McGinnis. Although I think one of the 1 of 5 corners or quarterbacks could go.
Yeah. Let me see.
Time will tell with that. But right now, looking at this list,
long snapper.
Yeah. Fuck, you got me.
not Hispanic, Polynesian long snapper.
Uh,
Let me see.
it is, the long snapper is Tua LaFili.
Yeah.
And no, it's not the long snapper.
Here, no, not him. Let's see if I can find a good one. But actually, I don't think. Holy shit! There it is. How about Ashawn McNair? That
Nope.
offense.
Nope.
I was looking for what?
I'm going Jameer Lacey.
Jameer Lacey. I was going for looking for a pass blocking offensive tackle to go real deep, but there's only one 5.0.
Yeah, there's not many there. I looked there already. I think Jameer Lacey goes. I think Cade recruits him well.
Yeah.
I think he lands him. I think he teaches him well. I think he's an early deck. I think he pulls off an absurd amount of picks in junior year, and I think he goes number 1 that class.
God, who's taking corner though? I know we overdraft corners. I know
No, that is the only position we overdraft is corners. Corners are so overdrafted. There's a shortage of corners in the NFL.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. There aren't very many good corners.
No, there's no.
Except for Jacoby Savers.
Fuck you, Dave.
No, yeah. So, we will overdraft the fuck out of corners. Also, completely unrelated. I think Ivory Hole is going to be the best quarterback in the NFL in about 5 years. But after that hot take, no, but I can't see. I just can't see it go number 1 overall with the.
I mean, we had 3, what, 3, 4, 8 last draft? Not this past, but the draft before that.
No, it was 3, 4, 6 because we were at 8 and we were going to take one.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
I think the problem is more of
always need a quarterback. Actually, next week maybe we can go over who NFL teams most likely to need a quarterback this draft.
That sounds like an NFL one, but yeah.
That would be funny.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, if they're going to take a corner, they might as well take a running back number 1 and get Solomon Coughlin.
Again, if somebody takes a running back first overall, I will eat in a hat.
We might trade him for him.
Unless it's that running back from Texas who got recruited this year, because he's really good, even though his high school stats were awful.
I don't think he is.
I'm just screwing with you because you thought he was going to be terrible.
He had all right first game.
Anyway, where's my next topic? I mean, our last topic was crystal balls.
Crystal balls.
So does anybody throw out in this shout box first, and then we can go through the list of choices we had. Does anybody have any crystal balls we want to pick? And no, it's not players you want just to go to your school. Just players you think might be intriguing that we can pick for crystal ball. Even random players. I'll take a 3.0 player. Crystal ball pick one.
Yeah, when
he's Tom Loy, every player is going to Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Notre. Okay. Anyway,
Notre Dame.
Danger. Where do you want to start on our crystal balls?
You
want to go quarterbacks to start, or you want to go different positions?
Quarterbacks. I was just gonna go down the list by skill. So Josh Pennington.
Okay.
And skip stupid ones. Josh Pennington, I already told you, Georgia.
That's a tough. I'm going to stick with my guns here and go with Florida. I said this last week. I'm going to stick with it. I think Neo could use an offensive guard now, and I meant to mention this earlier. Neo is one of the 3 coaches that I think are most active that haven't picked up Pipeline State.
That is true. He hasn't.
So Neo, if you listen to this in next week, pick up Pipeline State, because you, Duncan, and Mimsy all have not picked a Pipeline State, and I'm not advocating for you to do so because then that makes recruiting more competitive. But if you'd like to be more successful, pick a Pipeline State.
Good guy, Gravy.
I think Pennington's going to go to Florida. I don't see any other place.
I see what you're saying. I'm still sticking with it, Georgia.
I like Georgia. Georgia's an interesting pick. Also, guys, we're gonna start a blog where Dage and I crystal ball.
Yeah, officially like crystal ball.
Yeah, I haven't made the blog officially yet, but we have it planned. We're gonna officially crystal ball. We'll crystal ball some people. Anybody you guys suggest, we'll crystal ball. We'll crystal ball. I don't know how many. We'll
Yeah, we'll
crystal
figure.
ball a lot. It's gonna be huge. We're gonna build a wall around this blog. Nobody else can pick crystal balls.
We're gonna ball the fuck out, is what he's saying.
Yeah, no, we'll make it pretty solid. We'll track ourselves. If anyone wants to join in, you can. It's gonna be huge.
It's gonna be huge.
Danger, who's your second crystal ball guy?
Second crystal ball. Let's go down. Soldier Brooks, Virginia.
Yeah, I can't even pick any other school other than the junior.
Yeah, I think
Clem made it clear he's going after.
Yeah, and it's worth it. I think he's the guy who's worth it. He might be like a week 5 commit, like I said.
Yeah, he's gonna be pretty soon. So Rome asked us a question in the shout box, which I'll pause to.
I would.
If you were stranded on an island and had to eat the other person to survive, who would you win the fight to the death, Danger or Gravy? It's obviously gonna be Wilson.
Nah, I got this.
I like Wilson in this pick.
Nah, I'm ready. Look. Let's go.
You and your Rip t-shirt. You can have it. Screw you, Rome, for asking that question.
All right.
Next crystal ball pick that we haven't picked last week.
There's Jameer Lacey. Yes, yeah, that's Oregon. Oregon.
That's Oregon. There's no chance Oregon doesn't.
Yeah, that's Oregon. It's the most Oregon recruit ever.
Yo, here's an interesting pick. Devin McGinnis, 3 of 5 punter from North Dakota. Who do you think goes after him?
I'll give you one guess, and it's a team I've talked about all the time.
Is it not Minnesota?
No, it is Minnesota.
I know it's going to be Minnesota.
It's Minnesota. Minnesota's in such a ridiculous spot, and I think they're just going to take him. I
think there's too many recruits from Minnesota to go after him.
I think they could just sit there and do it themselves because no one else is pipelining them, and they're the only team with a bonus. So no matter who goes in there, they have to be committing at least, 15 points to just match what Minnesota's starting with, and Minnesota could get a 10% boost on everything they spend because they're bordering it as well.
Yo, this could be the next Legzilla, though.
That is true, but I don't think anyone's going to be able to put that much onto him to be able to take him out of there. I think Minnesota might just win by default.
That would be absurd. If Minnesota could win that without putting any points on him,
I don't know if it's not putting any points on him, but they may be able to get him for like 2 or 3 a week for a couple weeks.
That would just be an outrage. That would be an absolute.
I think they may be able to do that just because no one's really going to go that much after him because he's still a punter.
This is true. So who do you got next? Who do you want to go after? I mean, Solomon McLaughlin. We know here he's going. How about Israel Carlson? I think he stays in state. He's another person I had on my list for going out of state.
Really? Do you think anyone in Texas will reach for him?
I think a school like SMU might reach for him.
Yeah, because they need a running back in there. They know that McLaughlin ain't theirs.
I mean, we all know McLaughlin ain't ours.
Basically. So they might. I could see that.
It'll be interesting.
I'm gonna go. New Mexico's still alone there, so I think they might just kind of take advantage of that and move farther ahead than anyone can catch them. So I'm probably gonna go New Mexico State, keep them in the state.
I really hope they do because Viva Los Lobos is one of the best on the site.
Los Lobos.
Do you want to stay on offense? You want to jump to defense? What do you think? Because there's an offensive guard that we've not talked about in either of our podcasts.
Meyer Ludwig.
Yep. Meyer Ludwig.
That might throw a wrench into the plans of Georgia leaving state to get Pennington. Because why would they do that when they have Ludwig there? I might be wrong on that one.
I was going to say that might make your crystal ball wrong. We'll make your crystal ball official when we make the first pick.
Yeah, that's interesting, but maybe she just prefers Pennington. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how that breaks down. I mean, there's no really high quality centers out of like high skill centers that we could pick.
Hmm.
Defensive end, we all know where Oghale's going.
Yeah.
I think Callahan's going to go.
Is that Penn State?
Yeah, no, Oghale's going to Penn State. I think Callahan's going to Kansas. Storm's not going to let a 5.0 defensive end leave the state.
No, he's gonna lock that shit down.
We know where
Or
Soldier
Kansas
Bucks is
State
going.
might, but he's not gonna lose. What do you think about Akeem Pryor?
Hold on.
2 of 5 athlete in Florida. Good size, physical, great acceleration. He's a zone coverage guy.
Hold on. I don't have that in my list. I don't know why. Hold on.
Hell yeah.
Florida. Where in Florida?
Also, Jumbo, I have no comment. But where in Florida? Well, he is in Chamberlain, which is Tampa, Florida.
You know, I'm gonna take the odd one out. I'm gonna say USF.
Ah, I knew you were gonna say that. I like that. I think those like shitty schools in the MAC or the Sun Belt or whatever we have. I'm just fucking with you guys. But I think when you're in one of those lower conferences, just having one elite guy can make your team a lot of fun, and it can build excitement to play for, and you can win games just on that one team, even in really good conferences. Because watch Raheem on Oklahoma State. He doesn't have any help, and he's fucking carrying his teams to look good.
He just does it for himself.
So when you have a guy like that who is like a Marquise Reed who can play both sides and look fucking good, it makes the game a lot more fun, and you can fucking build around it, and you can make him more successful. And I think that's what a lot of these best teams have. Up until like Alabama this year, they had one guy who was I might even say up until Texas, but they really were relying on one guy fucking carrying and looking awesome, and then building around that. I don't know.
Yeah.
So a team starting out and getting that piece with Akeem Pryor in like maybe Central Florida. Oh no, because they have Norris. But I think South Florida will take it. That's actually a really good pick.
Yeah, I think it seemed like that's going to do it. I don't know that UCF would put the points in that. I think UBL smarter. I think Yellow Evan has some balls. You know,
Yeah.
He makes some questionable decisions.
And we're not saying this just because he's one of the few people actually watching this show, which we kind of appreciate.
Yes, thank you, Yellow, for watching.
No, we definitely like South Florida getting a guy like that would be incredible. And there's another guy, of course, in Florida that has that capabilities. Just looking around to be that guy, the wide receiver Sia Veu, which could be that guy for someone else. Oh,
who are we picking now?
Oh, Akeem Pryor. I think I see you with Florida or with
USF.
It's USF. I want to say Florida State.
Oh, Sila Aviu.
Yeah.
You know, I think Florida State's going to go after him. Florida State, Miami, one of the bigger schools is going to go after him.
You know who I see? Do you know I think is a bigger school in recruiting than they are in like playing? I think is going to be a threat to take him.
Who?
Central Florida.
You really think UBL is going to put the points in?
I think he did.
UBL's not that great at recruiting, though. I mean, his first class was terrible. His second class was all right.
Like Norris Jackson.
But that wasn't his recruit. He came in on him.
Oh, fuck that then. Whoever got Norris Jackson to be at UCF.
But yeah, I mean, because he's better coach. And the guy who played, the guy who coached before the guy at UCF didn't beat Maryland. So he also didn't lose to Maryland.
No one can beat you at Maryland, gravy. But let's get back to
beat me when I forgot to.
If it's not UCF, do you think it'll be Florida State? They're almost done with Luke. What? You said Florida State?
I do think it will be Florida State. Florida State has...
They got to think post Luke Cobb.
They have Luke Cobb, and I put 20 points on Luke Cobb, by the way.
20 points on Luke Cobb. Did you really?
No, I didn't. It was.
I know you were
a Tyrone McGee joke.
I put 20, but fucking Luke Cobb. He's going to be better than Raheem, I bet. He's like Amari Cooper to Raheem's fucking Kevin White. Not even, yeah, Kevin White. That's a good comparison.
What is it really Kevin White though?
No, maybe not. Well, we compare him and the other guy,
I don't know recruits well enough to know who was that highly recruited out of high school.
Luke Cobb. Luke Cobb is Amari Cooper.
Yeah, no, Luke Cobb is Amari Cooper.
That's definitely true. And
Was Luke Cobb the same class as the two guys from Pennsylvania?
not sure.
Morgan Patton and
Yeah, yo, I know UCF is run heavy because they got fucking Denoris Jackson, and I think if they pull down a wide receiver, that makes their offense kind of terrifying because Denoris Jackson's going to be the next great NFL running back.
doesn't he graduate this year, or is he a redshirt junior?
I don't think they redshirt him.
No,
might-
he already
might-
registered. No, Denoris Jackson.
No, he redshirted as a freshman.
So he's a redshirt junior then, because he was a redshirt sophomore. Because
He might declare. He probably will declare.
Um,
But I don't know. They
next crystal ball pick. You got anything or no?
I don't really know that much because there's not a lot of huge, real discussions going on.
There's Leilani Fepalui, the 6'4", 197 wide receiver, athlete out of Prouty, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I have a pretty good idea on where he's going. I assume you know where he's going.
The Sam?
Massachusetts, though?
Oh, I thought this said Maryland.
Nope. Maryland. I know who's going to Maryland,
No, MD.
and that's no one.
Let me say. To start with a BOSTONCOLLEGE.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance he ends up there. I don't see Smoking letting a talent of that caliber go.
The next Ezekiel Elliott.
Next Ezekiel Elliott. Wait,
No,
you think he's gonna run as a?
No, Ezekiel Smith. Whoever the fucking running. No, it was Ezekiel Smith. Ezekiel Adams. That's what it fucking was. Elliott's whatever. No, Ezekiel Adams. The next star under Smoking Cricket.
Okay.
I always think whenever I hear Ezekiel Elliott's name, even talking about the Cowboys, I think of
we know you love
to
suck off the Cowboys.
No. Whenever I hear his name, the first person I think of is Ezekiel Adams. Like if I ever see it written on the side, I'm thinking of the guy from fucking
Illinois running back.
the Illinois running back. I fucking loved him, dude. He was one of my favorite players to ever be on this site. And anytime someone mentions Ezekiel Elliott, I think of Ezekiel Adams first.
I got you.
I have to figure out in my head who they're really talking about.
I mean, I've done that in real life too. So, do we have any more crystal ball picks do we want to make, or do we want to save that for the blog? What do you think?
Let's see. Tyson, no.
We know where Tyson's going. So
Yeah.
shut your fucking.
Oh, dude, all these Texas recruits are fucking insane.
They're staying in Texas. I mean, it'd be a tough pick to make in Texas, but we can do it. Does the Shoutbox have any questions? I think we might end it.
Let's have Zach Lombardi. Go for it.
Zach Lombardi, the Maryland guy.
The Maryland quarterback.
You know, I know Penn State pushed hard for him early, but I think he's going to stay in state at Navy.
Navy.
I think Navy's
pipelining Florida, though.
No, that's Army.
Oh,
Navy
Army never pipelining Buxton.
Maryland or Navy and Maryland are both pipelining Maryland.
They're all the same because they're all pipelining. You know what's ironic?
What? What's IR?
Out of
NORIRONIC.
Yeah, whatever that is. No, out of the 3 service academies, you have Army, who's in
Delaware, which is an outrage.
I was gonna say Army and fucking
Air Force.
Army and Navy are. What's Army
Army's pipelining Florida. Navy's pipelining its home state of Maryland, and Air Force is
It's
pipeline
pipelining Delaware. So
Delaware,
they're up
which
in
is an outrage.
they're up in the Northeast, and Arizona Air Force is like, fuck, I want to be able to do you guys too.
Discreto, if
And then
you
they
listen to
leave, and
this,
they go down to
stop pipelining
Florida.
Delaware. It's a
like
bad
Air Force is flying out there to visit all their friends, and then when they get there, they all leave to Florida. So Maryland just kind of recruits the area alone because all the other military schools left the second they get out there. I'm sorry, Discreto. You can hang out with Navy in Maryland, but they're not really leaving that state. I like it saying in state to Lombardi.
You like who to Lombardi?
I like Lombardi to stay in state, but to Maryland.
Maryland. You think the Sam's going to put points down? They do have Marquise, who's going to be a sophomore.
Oh, really? How young is?
Marquise is a 3 of 4.5 sophomore.
Never mind. No, never mind then. Yeah,
Scrambling quarterback.
You're right, Navy.
225. He
You're right. You're right.
Going to transfer to Penn State next semester.
All right, then yeah, him. So it's gonna go to Navy.
I think Navy's a good pick there.
Navy's the right pick, the only right pick, the white pick.
And I don't think anyone's pipelining Maryland out of state. So,
all right.
You know who might be an interesting crystal ball pick that I have no idea who to pick on?
Who?
Matt Ballard, 6'4", 221, pocket quarterback at Ohio. This will be our last pick, and then we'll work on a blog for this week.
Man, Matt Ballard.
Unless there's some talk in the shout box.
I love him. I want him so bad because of Jeff Ballard, but no.
Who do you think's going to get him? I mean,
I could see any of the Ohio schools.
So many teams.
Dude, the thing is, though, is that I could see, hell, Bowling Green just wanting to go, hell yeah, I'm getting our quarterback.
Bowling Green doesn't have a coach right now because Dinkelberg went to Arizona State.
Then fucking Ohio State obviously is going to try and push their weight around. Cincinnati, Rome is a pushover, but not really in recruiting. Like, he's just a pushover in life.
Yeah, no, you can't make fun of people who get stabbed. That's not cool.
Yeah, no, true. That's not getting pushed over. That's getting stabbed over. Shit, you're fine, dude. But no, he'll stand up in recruiting, and he'll, like, all right, work it out. And he knows what he's doing. I've talked to him a few times about it. So he's not dumb. And Fever's the same way. I don't think Fever's going to talk as much, but he's going to go for his guy. Then you have Death CPO, who's going to navigate his way around and find something good. But I think he might be off of the quarterback. Who else is in Ohio? Miami of Ohio. I don't know who their coach is.
What's his name left? There's not much left in Ohio. FSU left. Rip. He died for our sins, but not as many sins as Harambe died for our sins.
No, there's no Bowling Green. I don't know. There's a lot that could go after him. So I think he's going to stay in state. I'm going to give it to Akron, though. But does Akron have
Akron?
Does Akron have
Hi there, Akron. Yo, you just assume that Hi there is controlling the rest of the Ohio school. I see how it is.
No, I think that CPO is watching this. I meant to say Toledo because I get Toledo and Akron.
Be a giant penis. You just stole my crystal ball.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going to give it to fucking Akron. Hi there is a good recruit. I think he's going to go to Death CPO. And Toledo and Akron are basically the same school, though.
I'm going to go Fever. As much as this pains me to say it, I think he might try to make a push because who's their quarterback now? Melvin Jefferson? Or
he's long gone. He was a 75 and entered the NFL at like a 69. No, he was a 4.5 and entered the NFL at like a 69.
Whoever their quarterback is right
now. Oh,
he
was bad.
I know who it is.
No, fucking not Philip Albright. No.
Yeah, no, it's Albright.
Cody Albright. Cody Albright.
Yeah, no. So he's going to find a replacement to Albright, and it's going to be, it's going to be Matt Ballard. I guarantee it. I'm putting that in as a gravy crystal ball.
Aiden Colbert. Who's that? I was suggesting the South box.
Hold on, let me see. That might be the good wide receiver out of Hawaii if the YB. No, he's a 2.5 of 4.5 speed running back out of New Mexico.
Oh, really?
That's an interesting call. Thanks for the suggestion. That's an interesting pick, because if New Mexico ends up going after
What's his name?
Aiden Colbert, like Colbert, like the Colbert Report. So if New Mexico goes Israel Carlson, that opens up Colbert for any Texas school or any school pipelining New Mexico, which I'm pretty sure is New Mexico.
You know what I'm going to say?
Who?
That the Trans Am won't do much, and he's still going to SMU.
Yeah, no, you know what? He might go Baylor. I'm going to go Trans Am. I'm going to go Trans Am here.
I think they let... Yeah.
No, I take that back. I'm going to go UTSA.
Wow. All right.
I don't know who's coaching there right now. I hope someone's coaching there right now.
Yeah. I'm saying SMU is their next Eric Dickerson. He's going to come in there, get paid cash money, and ball out, because SMU has a history of really average producing running backs who look all right but aren't very good, and he fits right into that mold. And they've all been like, all right, okay, but they've never been amazing. They've never been bad. Even like Freddie Brown wasn't bad, but he's going to fit right in with them. Because Kevin Muse isn't that great. He's all right.
Yeah.
Kevin Muse, and before that they had like a good guy, but wasn't great. It's SMU back.
Where did where'd Lambo go?
UTEP? No, it was
UTSA. Yeah,
UTSA.
No, he's going to UTSA. He's going with Lambo. That's my pick there. I think Lambo's going to sneak into New Mexico, steal him, and that kid's going to be a stud in CUSA. Because there's nobody.
He can be nuts in CUSA. Especially if he just got featured all day.
But anyway, is there any last second suggestions in the shot box or no?
Yeah, I do agree. The Lobos could sign a crazy class this year. What if they sign both the running backs?
I mean, it actually wouldn't be that far out of the question for them to do that. They already have a 13-point lead.
Yeah, but
if nobody from Texas decides to go after them, it would be pretty easy for them to just say, hey, fuck it, I want both of these guys. They're both mine.
And then
I have no use for either of them because they're both – I'm pretty sure they're both speed guys.
Oh, man. That would be dope. I want to see that happen. And just domination by Los Lobos.
They could go. It's a shame it's not power speed, because if it was power speed, I'd say screw it, because I would go after a scrambling quarterback in JUCO if they can.
Yeah.
Or a scrambling quarterback. Actually, no, that's a pocket guy. Go after a scrambling quarterback and then go after two speed, one power guy.
Hey, all right.
Great triple option guy.
Yeah, I think that'd be crazy. All right, I think this is going to be the last thing we do. The 1 of 5 defensive tackle in Texas. The problem is there are 3 defensive tackles in Texas that are 5.0 or better, so it's really hard to crystal ball this because they're all really the same. There's a lot of competition. There's still 2 in Oklahoma, so it could really go to pretty much any Texas school. That's all I really got to say. Like,
is it Gavin Best?
Yeah, Gavin Best.
He's going to Penn State.
Gavin Best. No.
Nah, he's going to he's going to Pizza Rolls in North Texas. He's going to pull a Dean, go after the best defensive tackle recruit in the region for no apparent reason, and then
well, he's not the best. He's the 3rd best.
I know, but it's close enough.
Yeah. I could see that, but I could see Pizza Rolls getting him for cheaper. Like, going after him hard in the beginning and getting him pretty quickly because people are caught up in the other defensive tackles. So I could see any of that, but I don't really want to put in a prediction until I see, like, who's bid on him after week 1. That's when I make a lot of those crystal balls, except for the obvious ones. Like,
yeah, I mean, we'll still have to make crystal ball. I mean, I'll put this out there. We're going to have to make crystal balls on a lot of people to start. And we're going to have to make guesses, but it's going to be like 24/7. It's not going to matter who you put your crystal ball into, because you can just change it anytime.
Yeah.
Because 24/7 is great, but is awful at that.
All right. Well, that sounds good. I think we're about done here.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think this was less rambling than last time.
Yep. And
So-
less sober than last time.
Yeah, sure, less sober.
All right. Have a good one.
Good one, Danger. If you guys have any comments that you think would be better for next class or next talk, we will gladly talk about it. Just tell me your Danger.
One.
Yeah.